Yeah. So, what is a cloud services? Cloud services and solutions that are delivered and consumed in a real time over internet or cloud services. So, when you store your photos online, use webmail. Webmail is nothing but Outlook or something like a your company email, social networking, Facebook, WhatsApp. So output, you will be use the cloud computing services. So what is a cloud computing? Cloud computing is a delivery model of computing services over the internet. It enables real-time development and delivery of a broad range of products, services, and solutions. So cloud computing is a style of computing where massively scalable IT related, massively scalable. Scalable means so increase or decrease. Scalable IT related capabilities are provided as a service across the internet to a multiple external customers. So what is a cloud computing? Computing and software resources that are delivered on demand as a service is nothing but a cloud computing. Cloud computing. Why we go for a cloud computing? Something like a lower computing cost. I already told you, right? Pay as you go model. So whenever you use the system, whenever you use the computer, whenever you use the a server, that time only you can pay the money. Improve the performance, reduces the software costs, instant and software updates, unlimited storage capacity. So increases the data reliability, device independence, and always on, anywhere and any place. Free from the maintenance and no need to know. Yeah. History and origins of a computing. History and origins of a computing. Something like in 1996, supercomputers mainframes are coming. So then in 1999, the first milestone of the cloud, the arrival of the cloud. So something like a 2000, they launches the Amazon Web Services. So Amazon Web Services started with the something like a SQS. So then 2000, they introduced a S3. So in 2000 started something like Google also started the cloud computing. So something like in 2008, so something like a Windows Azure started launches the Google App Engine and Windows Azure Beta. So it will be started the Azure. So this is the history. Characteristic of the cloud computing: on-demand self-services, flexible pricing for the use, and rapid elasticity, something like a resource pooling, ubiquitous network access. Characteristics of a cloud computing: on-demand self-service, on-demand a self-service, on-demand a self-service, then ubiquitous network access. So characteristics of a cloud computing: on-demanding, self-service, ubiquitous network access, and resource pooling. So resource pooling, that rapid elasticity and flexible pricing, pay-per-use. Yeah. Cloud service layers. What are the service layers, guys? What are the cloud services, guys? IaaS, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Guys, tell me, what are these? What are the cloud services? Guys.
Infrastructure as a service,
Okay.
platform as a
Next.
service,
Okay.
and software as a service.
Yes. So we already discussed, right? Something like infrastructure, platform, applications. So we need something like we want to deploy a WhatsApp application on the something like on the servers. Definitely we need the infrastructure. So if the infrastructure is needed, definitely we need a platform. Platform means something like a Java or WhatsApp. WhatsApp is developed through Java, and we need to deploy it on the Tomcat web server. That platform is nothing but a software application. Application is nothing but a code. So infrastructure as a service. IaaS is the delivery of a technology infrastructure as an on-demand scalable service. So IaaS is a delivery of the technology infrastructure as an on-demand scalable service. Platform as a service. So platform as a service provides all the facilities required to support the complete life cycle of the building and delivering web applications and services entirely from the internet. So what is a software as a service? Software as a service is delivery methodology that provides a licensed multi-tenant access to the software and its functions remotely as a a web-based services. As a web-based services. Infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service, servers, networking, storage, data center, and firewalls, load balancer. These all are the infrastructure as a service. So platform as a service, something like a middleware, web application runtime, that is nothing but a Java. So and deployment tooling, databasing, Java runtime, all the runtimes. So this is a Tomcat, this is a Java, something like this is a Oracle. So development tool and middleware. These all are related to platform as a service and software as a service. So software as a service is nothing but a something like a email, our Gmail applications, so CRM, ERP, HR applications, any industry applications, business process is nothing but a cloud a software as a service. So the traditional IT, this is a database. This is a data center environment. Everything will be taken care by ours only. So networking, storage, servers, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime, data, and applications. But in the IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS, so cloud will manage some part. So in the IaaS cloud will cloud services, cloud providers, something like for example AWS. AWS, they if you took the IaaS as a service, they take care about the networking, storage, servers, and virtualization and OS. So apart from OS, they take care of if anything goes wrong or something goes wrong, they will provide the support. They will provide the support. So they will not provide for the middleware and data and applications in the IaaS. So in the past up to runtime, up to runtime they will support. So networking, storage, servers, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime to runtime they will provide the support only. You will be managed on the, so something like a SaaS, something like a development of a application and deployment, everything. So if you took the SaaS, everything will be supported by the cloud providers. So in the traditional LT, everything will be supported by you. So in this, if you took the SaaS, everything will be supported by the cloud providers. So networking, storage, servers, virtualization, OS, middleware, runtime, data, and application, everything will be supported by the cloud providers. Now you understood, right, guys? So cloud implementation type, something like a private cloud, hybrid cloud, public cloud. So internally, cloud data centers, if you want a private cloud, they will provide the private cloud for you. So it will not access anything. So enterprise data center automation, firewall, and security. So public cloud, external cloud, something like it will be a region data center. It will be attached to. Also, this is the public cloud. This is the private cloud. So private cloud means they will separately provide with you. So public cloud, so whatever the in the public region, they will provide you. So hybrid. So public and private both will be there in the hybrid cloud. So public cloud owned and managed by the service provider, made available to a general public or a larger industry groups. So something like enterprise environments. So this is the private cloud, something like a public cloud. So if you want to both private and public is nothing but a hybrid cloud. So private cloud operated by a slowly. So this is the a public cloud owned and managed by the service provider, made available to the general public or a large industry group. So private cloud operated slowly. Slowly offer a organization may be managed by a organization or a third party, limited access to the enterprise and partners. So hybrid cloud composition or combination of two or more clouds, private and community and public cloud, bound together by a standardized or a proprietary technology that enables data and application portability. So it's nothing but a hybrid cloud. So cloud computing is the fastest growing. Conclusion: cloud computing is the fastest growing part of the network based computing. It provides a tremendous benefit to a customer of all sizes, simple users, developers, enterprises, and all type of organizations. So what is AWS? Benefits of using AWS. So history and origin of AWS, AWS components, AWS services, AWS regions, AWS availability zone, AWS edge locations, AWS services. So before this, these all are related to cloud. So this is related to AWS. What is AWS? Or benefits of using AWS, history and origins of AWS, AWS components, AWS services, AWS regions, AWS availability zones, AWS edge locations, AWS certifications. Yes. So what is AWS? Amazon Web Services. What is AWS means? Amazon Web Services. Guys, everyone tell me. What is AWS? Guys, what is
Amazon Web
AWS?
Services.
Amazon Web Services. Are you there? Nagaraju, Josna.
Yes.
What
Yes,
is AWS?
Amazon Web Services.
Okay. So Amazon Web Services are a collection of remote services. So what is AWS? AWS is a Amazon Web Services or a collection of remote services, also called as a web service, offered by Amazon.com over the internet, build and run an application. So what is AWS, guys? Amazon Web Services are a collection of remote services, collection of remote services like EC2 service, S3 service, IAM service, RDA service. So all the services over the internet build and run an application. Amazon Web Services a robust and scalable and affordable infrastructure for the cloud computing. So AWS provides a compute, storage, database. AWS provide compute, storage, and database services, quickly provisioning the IT need. What is AWS? AWS is a set of cloud computing services, cloud servicing services. AWS is a flexibility, availability, and scalability. So AWS is a elasticity. AWS is a elasticity means. So AWS is a elastic elasticity. So something like a scale up or scale down as needed, we can get the resources instantly. AWS is fully on demand. I will tell you scale up and scale down. Windows 7 installed. So in this, something like a code app or application is installed. The U limit value. U limit is nothing but a user limit. User limit is something like 10,000 people. I created a something like a WhatsApp.com. So this is the website. So the initially so something like I assumed something like from 1 to 6 months. The 1 to 6 months, for example, every day 10 something like 1,000 to some thousand to 1,100 or something like every day they are increasing the people. So based on that, they created a server. They created a server and so deployed the application on the server. So for example, so our assumption is wrong. Something like within the 1 month, 10,000 people are accessing the server. So it crosses to 11,000. So if 11,000, if the people are 11,000 access, it will be crashing. So we need another server. We need another server. It will share the. It will share the. It will share the load balancing. Something like so load balance again you need to go to the launch the server and something like you'll provide the load balancing on this application. So but it will take time, right? Something like so this is a scale up again something like the people are increasing again it will be added another server scale up something like for example so daily 10,000 people are daily 10,000 people are accessing, but in the Saturday, Sunday, they provided the tournaments. Something like this is like a cricket tournament and cricket site. So something like a 10,000 people per daily 10,000 people is enough. So on the Saturday, Sunday, they're providing the tournaments. So in that tournament, something like a 50,000 people are 50,000 people are accessing this site. So 50,000 people are accessing this site. Based on that people, so if I am using or not, if I am using or not, I will set up the I will set up the five servers. Every server having a 10K, 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 10K U limit. So once 10,001, it will be goes to the second server and get the info, get the app from this server. The same like 20,000. After 20,000, it will move to this, the load sharing, the load balancing, the load sharing. So if it is okay for the weekends, if it is okay for the weekends, but in the daily, so we are using only one server. So we are using only one server. The waste of the cost is waste for these four servers. So we are not using daily. So whenever we are using the server, it automatically scale up. It automatically scale up. Whenever it downs, whenever the people are reducing it, it automatically scale down the. It automatically scale down the servers. Scale down the servers. The concept is introduced on the cloud environment. The cloud environment. The concept is introduced. Scale up, scale down. So something like if the people is related to 40,999, definitely it will be scaled down the other server. If it is a 30,000, that is, if it is a 20,000, if it is a 10,000. So because of in the first round, then will be 10,000 will be 10,000 will be reducing. The second round 20,000, something like a 20,000 will be reducing. Third time 30,000. Fourth time. Lastly, so there will be only one server. So that is the concept. Automatically scale up, automatically scale up, automatically scale down, automatically scale down. This concept is provided in the cloud environment. Scale up and scale up. In the data center environment, so we need to keep five servers. We need to keep the five servers and pay the money for the five servers also. This is a waste of cost. So in the cloud computing, they are providing a scale up and scale down concept. Scale up and scale down the concept. Guys, now you understood? Guys, understood or not? So
Yes.
elasticity, something like a scale up and scale down as needed when you get the resources instantly. AWS is fully on demand. AWS is fully on demand. The benefits of using AWS. Pay per use model. What are the models? So this is the cost. Pay per use model. So you are only charged for the disk space, CPU time, and bandwidth that you use. So paper model, if you are using the paper model, you are only charged for the disk space and CPU time and the bandwidth that you use. Instant scalability. Your service is automatically scales on AWS stack. Reliable and redundant. Infrequent outages. Data is redundant in the cloud. All the services have all the services in the built-in security. AWS delivers a scalable cloud computing platform that provides a customer with the end-to-end security and end-to-end privacy. Most services accessed via a simple REST API or SOAP API. So libraries are available in all the major languages. A minimum learning curve. So service level agreement, SLA. What is service level agreement, guys? So anyone working in the real time? I think Jyotsna working, right? Jyotsna is there?
Yes, yes, I'm there.
Yeah. Do you know about SLA?
Yeah, like in production support, there is like SLA concept will be there.
Mm-hmm. Ticketing tool. So Kim, are you working real time?
Yes.
Yeah. So ticketing tool. So guys, does you know the ticketing tool? What is ticketing tool and what are Jira, Salesforce, ServiceNow? So Jyotsna, which ticketing tool are you using? So something like
Uh,
so.
Service now.
For example, yeah, ServiceNow. So ServiceNow or a Jira is the ticketing tool. Salesforce. These all are the ticketing tools. In Jira, something like how we can get the work through the tickets. For example, SR change request, something like EMR, emergency change request. SR is nothing but a service request. CHG is nothing but a change. EMC is a emergency change. So SR is nothing but a service request. So service request having the SLA. You need to something like SR123. This is your a ticket. In this ticket, they are asking for the build a server. Build a server. So how many days it will be how many days you can complete with this request? The request, the SLA is nothing but a number of days you need to complete this complete this ticket, something like a 7 days. If it is a change ticket, 2 hours. If it is emergency change, something like a 2 days. If it is an emergency, 2 hours. So these are the SLA, service level agreement. So SLA for the SR request, change request, emergency change request. Now you understood, guys? Yes. What is SLA? SLA is nothing but a service level agreement. Service level agreement. SLA between SLA between 99.99 and 100% availability. Amazon S3 maintains the durability of 99.99999% availability. Availability zones exist on isolated fault lines, floodplains, and electrical grids to sustainably reduce the chance of simultaneous failures. Support. AWS provides 24/7 support in the real-time operation status of all the services around the globe. They will support and availability zones also there, service level agreements, history and origins of the AWS. So grew out of the Amazons need to rapidly provision and configure the missions of a standard configurations for its own businesses. So early 2000s, both private and shared data centers began using the virtualization to perform server consolidations. So in 2003, internally memo by Cheris Pinken describing the infrastructure as a service in the world. In 2006, S3 first deployed in the spring, EC2 in the fall. So 2008, Elastic Block Storage available. So Amazon EC2 now offers Windows 2000 Server 8. So 2009, a relational database service is announced. Announcing the Amazon CloudFront streaming, announced AWS launches the Northern California region. So Amazon EC2 instances now can boot from the Amazon EBS, introducing the Amazon EBS shared snapshot. In 2012, DynamoDB announcing the Windows Server 2012 on AWS. So in 2013, Amazon DynamoDB console now available in AWS GovCloud. So new management console and support for more AWS features. Announcing the next generation of AWS EC2 high I/O instances. In 2004, Amazon Glacier is now available in the AWS GovCloud US region. So Amazon CloudWatch logs cross account subscription Amazon EC2 container service available in the US West region in the 2014. So various components of the AWS components platforms. So AWS component platform, something like a AWS global infrastructure. So what are the global infrastructures? Availability zones, regions, and edge locations. So foundation service. What are the foundation service? Compute service, storage service, database service, networking service. So compute EC2, storage S3, database RDB, so networking, VPC, Route 53. So application platform services, content distribution, messaging, parallel processing, and libraries and SDKs. So management and administration. So management administration console, identity and access, deployment workflow, and monitoring. So these are the various components of the AWS. So AWS global infrastructure, availability zones, regions, and edge locations. So foundation services, compute, storage, database, and networking. So application platform services, content distribution, messaging, parallel processing, and libraries and SDKs. Management administration, administration console, identity and access, and a deployment workflow and monitoring. So big picture of the AWS. AWS global infrastructure. So what are the foundation services, application services, and deployment and management services? So what are the foundation services? Compute and storage, database and networking. So what are the compute services? Amazon EC2, auto scaling. What are the storage services? Amazon S3, Amazon EBS, Amazon Storage Gateway, Amazon Glacier. What is the database services? Amazon RDS, Amazon DynamoDB, Amazon SimpleDB, Amazon Flexible. Elastic caching. So networking. Amazon VPC, Elastic Load Balancing, Amazon Route 53, AWS Direct Connect. Application services. Queuing services. What is Amazon SQS and notification services? Amazon NSS and email services. Amazon SES. Libraries and SDK. Java, PHP, Python, Ruby, .NET, Web, Tomcat, whatever. So searching services, Amazon Cloud Search. Content delivery services, Amazon Cloud Front. Parallel processing, Amazon Elastic Map Reduce. And workflow, Amazon ASWF. Identity and access. AWS IAM, administration, Amazon Management Console, monitoring, Amazon CloudWatch, and deployment and automation, Amazon Elastic Beanstalk, AWS Cloud Formation. So AWS services. Amazon provides the various types of the services as below. EC2 services. EC2 services. EC2 is a virtual private server. EC2 is a virtual private server. EC2. So Elastic Cloud Computing. What is EC2, guys? Elastic Cloud Computing. ECC. Elastic Cloud Computing. Elastic Cloud Computing. So EC2. EC2 is nothing but guys, tell me, EC2 is nothing but Elastic Cloud Computing. Guys, tell me what is EC2? Guys, you there?
Elastic computing.
Yes, very good. Elastic Cloud Computing. So virtual private server. Elastic Cloud Computing is nothing but a server. EC2 server. EC2 server. This is a Elastic Cloud Computing server. Install the CentOS 7. So this is the EC2 server. So similar to a standard VPCs are called as a instances. So virtual private servers is similar to a standard VPCs are called as a instances. So in the data center, guys. So the server is nothing but a, so if it is a physical server or a virtual server. So what we call it as a virtual private server, a virtual machine, right? What we are calling as a something like a VM. So this is a physical server. So this is nothing but a called as a in AWS it is called as a instance. So VM is called as a instance. So in the Azure, so in the AWS it is called as a instance. In the Azure it called as a VM. It call it as a VM. The naming convention is different. The core functionalities is same. EC2 virtual private server similar to a standard VPCs are called as a instances available in variety of sizes. So 613 MB to 64 of RAM. All majority operating systems will be supported. S3 cloud service, cloud storage, highly scalable. Some companies have PBs of a data, megabytes of a data, highly available. Data is stored in multiple data centers. RDS, relational database service, MySQL, SQL, Oracle databases, variety of sizes, high available for an extra cost. Read replication, scheduled backups. Route 53, DNS, high availability, works well with other AWS services, fast and secure, paper zone, millions of queries, content, CloudFront, content delivery network, uses a number of global edge locations, fast paper use, Glacier, data archive, store the data for a prolonged period of a time. Very cheap data retrieval takes a few hours. So DynamoDB, NoSQL databases. So Elastic Cache, Memcache. So these are the AWS services. So compute service, storage service, database service, networking service, administration and security, deployment and management, analytics, application, mobile services, enterprise service. All the services there will be a solution. AWS regions. So AWS regions are a completely isolated from each other or in the different parts of the world, and AWS regions are a collection of data centers. Collection of data centers is a availability zones. Availability zone. Each region has a set of number of agents. Agents means availability zone. All agents in a region connected by a high bandwidth. Cost vary from region to region. Default region is US East 1. AWS regions. Data centers spread across the globe. There are 9 regions: US East, North Virginia, US West, North California, EU, Ireland, APAC, Singapore, APAC to Tokyo, APAC to Sydney, GovCloud, US West to Oregon, South America, SOYO, Paulo. So availability zones. Subset of the region, physically isolated, independent infrastructure. So this is an extra region called by AWS GovCloud region, but this can only be used by the government agencies. So low latency, every region has a minimum of 8 widgets. So edge locations. I will tell you these guys tomorrow. You will understand more. So AWS edge location. Edge locations are the important part of the AWS infrastructure. There are currently 40 edge locations. They are isolated in most of the major cities around the world and used for the cloud front. And Route 53 is distribute content nearer to the end user. So AWS certifications, guys. What are the certifications are? What are the certifications are? Associative level and professional level. So something like associative level, AWS certified solution architect associative, AWS certified developer associative, AWS certified sysops administration associative. The starting is AWS cloud practitioner. So after this, if you are learning AWS certified solution architect, AWS certified developer associate, AWS certified sysops administrator. So professional level, AWS certified solution architect professional, AWS certified Devops engineer professionals. So these are for the solution architects and developers and sysops. So introduction to AWS. So we'll tell you guys the before I will tell you other the thing. Yeah. So what it is AWS? What are the services? History and cloud number fact and AWS cloud use cases. So cloud infrastructure, regions, how to choose a region, something like a availability zones. Guys, I will tell you what is availability, access points, edge locations. So edge locations, then we'll start the into EC2, 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 EC2. Okay, guys, simple
Okay.
and easy. So most probably we'll start, guys. Tomorrow we'll launch the EC2 instance. Something like so how we can launch the how we can launch the VM in the data center, how we can launch the VM in the cloud. The same, guys. Both the DC and the cloud are same, but only DC provides a IaaS. But here they provides IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. These two are so these two are providing extra cost and so something like so if you launch a server in the DC, it will take something like a 15 to 20 days. But in the cloud, it will take 5 to 10 minutes, max 5 minutes only. So it reduces the cost, it reduces the time, it reduces everything. That's the reason cloud came. So what is cloud means? It will connect to a data center. This is a API. application interface. So tomorrow I will show you guys. So I will show you something like how to sign up sign up sign up the AWS account and how to create the AWS EC2 instances. So I will tell you tomorrow pricing, everything. Will start again this and so we'll launch the EC2 instance. Okay.
Okay.
So you are logged to AWS console and launch the instance. Launch the EC2 instance. So this is a manual process. How automate the process. So DevOps tools introduced. What is this? IAC tool. Infra as a code. So we can build the infra as a code also. That is a Terraform. Guys, soon you will start the DevOps tools.